Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to Coffee with me this morning at Tactical and Outdoors International. We're going to go over the Glock resetting trigger today, specifically for a 19 Gen 3. There's a little firing pin that comes with it. I'm going to show you how to install it and give you a brief review of it, because it's something that I've probably used. I'm using at least an hour a day, every day, because, you know, daylight savings time, or we run out of a lot of daylight, so by the time I get out of work, I'm not able to go to the range anymore, and I've been trying to shoot and get into USPSA, and this has been a really good tool for me to use. So without any further ado, I'm going to show you how to install this into your Glock. Now keep in mind, I'm not a Glock certified armorer. I'm not, you know, specially trained or anything. I watched the video on Glock Store, and shout out to Glock Store, pretty freaking good video. So this is my Glock 19 Gen 3. You can see it's clear. There's nothing in there. No magazine, before anyone gets all their panties in a bunch. Okay? And no, it's not pointed at my head, clearly. Alright. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this thing apart. Clutch, guide rod, and spring. Pull out your barrel. This cover has got to come off your back plate. So I'm going to take, where did I put it? My handy dandy tool. And make sure that you're very careful. You're going to press down. See that little ledge in there? You press down on that, slides right off. Put this little button right here. That's like your eject. I think it's the ejector spring. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Extractor, depressor, plunger. And the plunger spring, that's the actual name for it. That will fly out if you're not careful. So don't do that, because it's hard to find. Believe me, I'm trying to find it. Okay, so I'm going to pull the firing pin out. Set that to the side. Now, with this is the resetting firing pin. This is the spring that goes in the back of the resetting firing pin. It goes right in there like that. Don't lose that. It's very easy to lose. It's gonna go in. I'm gonna depress that plunger to get it seated. Okay. So come back. I'm gonna slide that plate back on. So now that's ready. If you want, you can go ahead and put in your magic bullet now. Each time this thing is hit, the back, this rubber, so your firing pin's protected. You can see it's got a lot of freaking wear on it, because I use it a lot. You can go ahead and put this in your barrel at this point. And I'm not saying that it's going to block your ammo, but there's something in the barrel, so, and it's not going to come out unless you actually push it out with like a cleaning rod or something. So we'll let it ride. Put your spring back in. Okay, your slide is done. You can see malfunction. We're having some technical difficulties. Bear with me a second. I need some tape. Okay, we'll come back to that here in a minute. We'll go ahead and assemble this, because apparently the magic bullet's having some malfunctions. So now we get to your frame. You're going to want to remove 3 pins. There's 2 of the trigger pins up front. I think that's a locking block pin. Let me reference my chart over here. Trigger pin and short trigger housing pin back here. And your lock and block pin. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and put those out. Now your slide stop lever is going to come out, so be mindful of that. This lock and block pin. Yeah, this is a little rough, guys. Bear with me. This is how I do it. Alright, cool. So, slide stop lever. There's your little spring on there either. Locking block comes out. Trigger comes out. Easy, right? Trigger goes in the box with the live firing pin. Live fire firing pin. Okay? Now this. Be very careful, because this is not like you see on the normal Glock trigger spring. Well, you can't really see it. How it's actually hooked onto that trigger housing. The resetting trigger is not. It's a free spring in there that lets it bounce back and forth, hence the resetting trigger. So you're going to go ahead and seat that carefully. Put in the locking block. At this point, I put in the short trigger pin. I'm having difficulty. Okay. I'm going to put my slide stop lever back. And put my locking block pin back. That went on relatively easy. And you may have some issues with the spring on the slide stop lever. Putting it back. Just push it down. Past that locking block. Oh, my bad. It's early, guys. Give me a break. It's like 6 in the morning and I'm just now getting to a coffee. And when putting this top pin in, sometimes the spring gets in the way. Push it down out of the way. Don't let it rest on top or your slide stop lever will act funny. And that's it. As you can see, yeah, this is just the frame. You could sit here and pull this all day. And you don't have to rack the slide every time. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put the spring back. And guide rod. The slide. Okay. Now, so I pull the trigger again, unloaded. I just put it back together. And you can do this all day. Here in a minute, I'm going to set up a target and show you how it actually works. It's actually a pretty good tool, especially whenever the magic bullet's working like it's supposed to. You can actually, I have targets set up all over the house actually. You can actually run around and ping the targets. So give me a second to put the magic bullet together and set up a target, and I'll show you how it works. Hey guys, now that we put together the resetting trigger into the Glock 19, I'm going to show you how easy it is to work and why it's such a valuable resource. First of all, daylight savings time came around, as we all know, and the days are getting shorter. So what that means for me is I drive 40 minutes every day to get to the range, or drove 40 minutes every day. I can't do that now because my range closes at sunset. So I got to get my practice in somewhere. So how do I do that? Dry fire. Anyone who shoots, reasonable amount of time will tell you, dry fire, dry fire, dry fire. So that's what I'm doing with this setup. I have my competition belt on, and that's good to go. I have the mag already in there. So what I can do with this thing is I can have my buzzer. It's on my phone, which I'm recording on right now, so obviously it'll like there. So when the beep goes off, it's as easy as just like that. So I could sit here for hours and hours at a time, and I mean, I've probably fired this thing a couple thousand rounds by now, rounds worth. So I could sit here and do that all day. Easy peasy. And I get my round count in, I get my fundamentals in, and it does translate over to the normal range. It really does. I will list a link at the bottom and get the MSRP for you. I got the Gen 3 model. I know you can get the Gen 4. I don't know if they came out with the Gen 5 yet, but I will try to look and have that information for you. Thanks for hanging out this morning and going over this Glock resetting trigger. Again, valuable training tool. It's worth it. If you look at it in the long run, it's definitely worth it as a dry fire tool. So, this has been Don with Tactical and Outdoors International. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving. Stay safe. A lot of crazy people on the roads out there. Spend some time with your loved ones. Enjoy.